Happy Trump Day, everybody. I know that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Heather Williams and the update in her case, which I will be giving you in this video. But for everybody that loves America and loves patriotism, I know you're having a great day, and I hope you continue to have a great day. But we're going to jump into this story as a Tyrellese gentleman has been arrested for the murder of Heather Williams. If you do not remember, it's my last video. We talked about Heather Williams, who was kind of had a mental disorder, and she was picked up by a gentleman outside of her house, and she ended up dead in the woods. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is Crime Time. Now, before we get started, I know you're busy today. We got a beautiful day, and even you libtards, I know you guys are whining all day, so we all got shit to do. So we're going to make this video as quick as possible. Before we get into this, though, I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody that supports the channel. Hell, any of my channels, regardless of platform, regardless of method that you use, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Truth is, guys, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do for the last 19 years on all these different channels if it wasn't for you, the Gun Squad. I love you so much, and if you too find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Join the Gun Squad, support the channel today. You can also find the links to some other content down there as well. We did the inauguration on the live stream channel, all kinds of content everywhere. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into this. If you guys do not remember, there was a young lady in the last video who was found dead in the woods. The doorbell ring camera caught her going outside, stumbling out there in the middle of the night, towards the middle of the night, getting into a stranger's car, and she was later found deceased. The woman couldn't really talk, couldn't walk that well. She'd been in a car accident that had pretty much left her fucked up, let's just say that. And so, like, she wasn't capable of making the decisions on her own. So when that happens and you end up, I told you there's a good chance she was probably interacting with someone on a dating site, Facebook, something like that. And that's exactly what happened as this Tyrellese fella, he's the one that did the deed. Fayetteville man charged with first-degree murder after missing woman found dead in the woods. Fayetteville police have arrested and charged a man Thursday in connection with the death of 25-year-old Heather Williams, who was previously reported missing and endangered, of course. Fayetteville police have arrested and charged a man Thursday in connection with the death of a 25-year-old. I don't know why you would even get in a car with someone like this. There would have to be some sort of mental condition, right? I mean, you could take one look at this fella, and I'm serious. Is there any? I want you to be honest with me in the chat room, in the comment section. Would any of you get into a car with a dude that looks like this? Be honest. Be honest. And I understand everybody's going to be like, you're racist. I'm just saying, would any of you get into a car with this fella for any reason at all? Whatever. Call me whatever you want. Truth is still the truth. Truth is still the truth. Anyways, his name is Tyrell Siermons of Fayetteville. He's 30 years old. He has been charged with first-degree murder. During a follow-up investigation into the missing person case, police were led to the woods near Newark Avenue and State Avenue, where they found Williams's body. Police began investigating Heather's death as a homicide. Her sister, Mary Williams, she's the one that made the heartfelt plea to everybody. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the story here. We're going to see, because we got this bitch. Oh man, you know we all hate this bitch. What was it? Bumfield. Oh yeah, Bumfield. She's always getting in here on these types of stories. We'll see what Bumfield has to say in regards to this bit and in regards to Heather Williams. Let's
we have some breaking news tonight and a chilling mystery out of North Carolina. A suspect is now in custody in the killing of a 25-year-old woman named Heather Williams.
She always looks like she's so concerned. Let's be honest, man. Bumfield only gives a shit about cashing that check. She only cares about cashing that check. And a lot of the media is like this, right? And that's why, and in fact, a lot of these true crimers in this community is like this. At least I'm open and honest with you. And say, look, man, this is like playing a game of Clue to me. I really don't care. And look, I'm just being dead honest with you. I don't care majority of the time. Some cases hit my funny bone a little bit. Some cases mean more to me than others. And clearly, a mentally handicapped North Carolina, not too far from me, North Carolina woman being brutally murdered by one of these tyrannies, that hits home with me. That bothers me tremendously. Watch her.
Williams was last seen leaving her parents' home in Fayetteville the night of January 4th. In this ring cam,
you can see the way she's walking. She's disabled.
Video. You can see as she walks out the front door, walks across the lawn, and then gets into a gray four-door sedan driven by a then unknown person. Police would find her body in a wooded area 6 days later. Heather was almost entirely mute after being hit by a car in 2015 and spending months in a coma. Her family says she was learning how to talk again and walk, but injuries left her, her brain injuries left her overly trusting of strangers. Police say the suspect, Tyrell Siermons, was arrested today and charged with...
Hey, look, man. No matter how damaged you are here, though, look, just take a look, man. No, nobody in their right mind that would get in a car with this fella. And unfortunately, someone did, and I'm not blaming the victim at all. The victim clearly was brain damaged, clearly had issues, and this is a sad, sad case, sad story, all the way around. But this is why you don't deal with certain people, man. This is why you don't deal with certain people.
First-degree murder. They also say he had just been released from prison
for
robbing, kidnapping, and shooting someone who actually survived.
Of course.
I'm joined now by Mary Williams, Heather Williams' sister. Mary, thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry for what you and your family have gone through. And this is such a late-breaking development.
I'm just going to say this, man. 60% of violent crime is done by 12.4% of the country. Or 55% of homicides are done by 12.4% of the country. And if you really break it down, it's actually 6% of the country. Because 6% are the men. Like, you could say whatever you want to me. You could call me every name in the book. You could say that I'm racist, this, and that. But come on, man. I'm smart. And I do these stories, and I've drawn up the numbers. It's just reality, man. What is safe? What is safer, Compton or the Appalachian Mountains? You see what I'm saying? Which is safer? Which does less murders happen in?
With the arrest of this suspect, and it's actually someone you had spoken with right after Heather went missing. Can you tell me about that? This is crazy.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much for having me and covering Heather's story. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how this whole investigation
they look just alike.
Last week, we checked the security camera footage and saw on Sunday morning that Heather hadn't come home and that she had left that night getting into this unknown vehicle, that we had no idea who it was that picked her up. So immediately after filing that missing persons report, my mom tried to pull up her phone records on Verizon to see who was her last point of contact. And when we saw that last 3-minute phone call to that unknown number, I went ahead and dialed it and gave him a call to see.
So this dummy was literally calling her from his phone, picked her up in a car that could be traced to him. Like, you got to be a dumb, low IQ, right around the IQ of about 78. If you check the numbers, the, demographical IQ numbers. You got to be a dumb motherfucker to, get caught like that anyway. But I'm glad he was dumb.
Who it was.
And what was the conversation like? What did he tell you?
So I had asked him, I told him who I was, that we haven't seen Heather. I asked him if he had picked her up or been with her recently. He did tell me that he did pick her up, that he had met her on Facebook, and that he couldn't tell me which night it was.
This is why people shouldn't allow their children, wives, anybody that you care about on these goddamn social media apps. And I'm not playing. And I'm using children as an example because someone with brain damage, you would imagine, has the mind of a child. Yeah, they said it earlier, that she was vulnerable, that she was too trusting in people, much like children are, right? You can't let children, you can't let people like this on these goddamn apps, on these social medias, because there are legit predators out there, legitimate, as you can see here and plenty of others cases.
He picked her up. He couldn't remember. Couldn't even tell me what they did. So I tried to pry. I said, where'd you go? What'd you do? He said that she wanted to be dropped off at another location. She asked to go to somebody else's house the whole time. And so that's where he took her, dropped her off at somebody's house.
Damn.
So I asked him, well, what kind of car do you drive? And he said a red SUV. And I said, well, can you send me the Facebook messages between you guys if that's where you were communicating at, or the text messages or something, so I could see what day this happened at, so I can see if it matches up with the day we last saw her. Well, he didn't send me anything, so then I sent him a screenshot of that reporting where we have the car in the picture, and I asked him, is this your car, and did you pick her up in it? And he did finally come back and say he picked her up that night, but that he was using his friend's car, so that he wasn't lying about driving a red SUV, but that he was borrowing a car that night.
Wow. So
like, who borrows cars, man? Who the fuck borrows cars? And you already got a car. Hey, man, you mind if I borrow your car, your whip real quick so I can go kill me abroad? That ain't how... Like, people live interesting lives, man. I don't understand people.
You shared all of this, obviously, with the police. Were they able to take the ball from there and then lead to the arrest tonight?
So I asked him what his name was, and he would only identify as Zag, and that's all I got. So I sent the number over to the detective with the screenshots and told her about our conversation. Obviously, this was before we actually found Heather. So when she got all that, she ended up questioning him, seizing his vehicle, and searching his car that last Friday. And on that same day, that's whenever they were led to Heather's body. And so between last Friday when they found Heather and, today,
but they didn't arrest him immediately.
When they made the arrest, I'm sure they were trying to put together all the evidence, within his car and in the woods, and found on Heather. It's horrific to even think about.
Mary, I'm so incredibly sorry that, you're talking about your sister. Do you think that they were led to her body by the suspect? Do you think he coughed up details and took them there, and that's why they could find her?
I don't think so.
So I honestly thought that it wasn't him, because after Friday of them searching the car, they didn't make an arrest even after finding the body. I thought, well...
Yeah, so if he would have told them where the body's at and they would have went and got it, they would have arrested him right then, right? I mean...
Maybe it wasn't him, because, again, that was Friday, and it's almost a week later. I did see where the arrest warrant was taken out on the 14th, 2 days ago. So I believe that they found probable cause in between Friday and Monday or Tuesday. And then it just probably took time to bring him in. So I don't think that he actually led them there. I think something they found in the car is what led them there.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have to have some sort of evidence or digital, digital evidence at least, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, would he have took her to the woods and then killed her there? If he killed her and then transported her, clearly there's going to be DNA. The Taiwanese are not that damn smart. He ain't going to pull a Kohlberger and shit, clean everything. I'm not saying Kohlberger did it, but you get my point. Chances are he took her there and killed her.
Maybe there was GPS. I mean, that's often the
case.
That's something a lot of the newer cars have. But we were just looking at some of the pictures, Mary, of you and Heather together.
They look identical.
You look like twins. You're so similar. And I'm so hurt for you in your loss. You must feel angry about the fact that he was let out of prison for doing something violent and perhaps almost similar, but for the fact the victim survived.
Yeah, it's awful to see his record and to know that he's done something very similar to this, and, did a stint in prison and was able to be back out on the streets.
Well, because you didn't know, it's racist to sentence him to prison for too long. You see what I'm saying? If you give them too long of a sentence, you're going to have Al Sharpton and shit. You know what I mean? Telling everybody how racist you are for sentencing the black man here for attacking people. Yeah, because clearly they're one of the most peaceful group of people in the United States of America. And anyone that suggests anything other than that are just clearly wrong and racist, easily. And even the judges and prosecutors, they can't suggest it at all, because clearly they were kings and queens and shit.
Fortunately, it's just the world we live in, where you want to give people the benefit of a doubt and you want to think they can be reintegrated back into society make the decisions. And it's
culture, bro, culture.
So hard to believe that there's evil in this world that exists to do these kinds of things to people. And so, I'm not angry at the justice system or at the people who, didn't keep him locked up. I'm angry at him because he's who to blame. And he's the one that made the decisions. And, other people shouldn't have to answer for his actions because he's the one who did this.
She's right.
Is the one with evil in him.
She's right.
You are a very strong young woman, Mary Williams, and I just want to send you our thoughts and our heartfelt prayers for your family and what you're dealing with, and I hope you get justice in this case. Thank you so much for sharing your story and Heather's story with us.
Thank you so much for covering it. We appreciate it.
There we go.
That's Mary Williams talking about her sister Heather Williams.
We do got an update here. We'll give it to you in just a second.
And an arrest made tonight in that case. We'll keep you posted on the case as well.
We do got an update. He did make his first court appearance. Let's check it out.
The man charged with murdering Heather Williams is named Tyrell Siermons. He's been charged.
Hold on, I don't like that.
Well, no bond tonight for the man police say killed Heather Williams. She is the one who vanished, then turned up dead several days later.
Tonight, CBS 17's Justin Moore is live, digging deeper into the felony records of the suspect, Tyrell Siermons. And Justin, what have you uncovered?
Well, Tyrell Siermons is right here inside of Cumberland County Detention Center on first-degree murder charge. Now, we spoke to his former boss, who says that Tyrell should have never been on the streets.
Oh, damn.
Tyrell Siermons walking into court with his arms folded on Friday. Fayetteville police say the 30-year-old killed Heather Williams, the daughter of a former Fayetteville city councilman.
He'll face his day of judgment, as we all will.
Family reported Williams missing on January 4th. She was last seen getting into a strange car. Officers found her body in a wooded area in Fayetteville a week ago.
Fuck this.
If he was given the proper sentence at the first time...
Try to speak, Horace. His name is Horace McCray.
She would be still living.
That's right.
Not being disrespectful. Just being honest.
Yeah.
Siermons used to do construction work for Horace McCray. He fired him in 2016 for disrespecting customers. McCray says Siermons then kidnapped, beat, and shot him. Even tried to shoot.
Damn! That's the guy he kidnapped, beat, and shot was the boss? Yo!
McCray's fiancée at the time. Siermons served prison time for the incident. Today, McCray found out Siermons had been released several years ago and was the suspect in Williams' case.
Very surprised because I thought with the case that he had with me and my previous fiancée, we would have been notified when he would have been released. That young man has some mental issues. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He has some very serious mental issues.
Clearly.
He should have been rehabilitated in a mental institution.
No, he should have been locked up forever.
Now, a special prosecutor from the State Conference of DAs is leading this case. As for Siermons, he remains here in jail without a bond. Live in Fayetteville, Justin Moore, CBS 17 News.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the update. He's got no bond. He's in jail. This is what happens, man, when you give people second chances. Like, keep in mind, that was just 2016. I want you to understand. This man kidnapped a man and his fiancée, shot them, and this is in 2016, and he's out now. It is 2025. He was out in 2024. No, I did say 2 years ago, a couple years ago. So he was probably out a couple years back. And this is a man that did this. No, our legal system is definitely a problem. If a person is willing to kidnap and shoot someone, even if they don't? Why do they gotta kill them for them to get serious time? This dude didn't do no real time over that. No real time. And that's why he was able to get out and kill again, try to kill again, and this time he was successful. Savages. Clearly a savage. We gotta stop with this leniency on shit like this, man. Hopefully the legal system learns its lessons from shit like this. Just like they did with domestic violences and shit back in the day, where they started holding people for at least to 72 days to protect the victim. I don't see why shit like this. I don't understand why the victims wasn't notified when he was released from prison. Let me know what you guys think about this. This case isn't closed, clearly. But I do think they got him red-handed. I mean, there's got to be a reason. They got to have the evidence, and that's why he's in jail. And with his previous activity, I mean, you can take one look at him and know he's guilty, right? Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. If you want to support the channel, as always, links are down below. Join the Gun Squad today if you find my content valuable. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Happy Trump Day.